Welcome back to eSIM Studios. I have iPhone news and or information. Now, it might not be the news and or information that you're thinking of right off of the bat because right around the corner next month we have iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max, and who could forget the iPhone Ultra launching next month, but that's not what I'm talking about. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the iPhone 20, the 20th anniversary edition. And there's going to be a little shakeup from within Apple on how they launch this. It looks like Apple's 20th anniversary edition is going to be next. Now, I know you're thinking, well, what happened to the iPhone 19? Apple is seriously considering skipping the 19 in jumping right to 20. Now, they've done this before, so history would say they don't have any problems just scrapping the 19. Let's just jump to the 20, right? Screw 19 when we want to go to 20. I'm for that, right? Now, on this special 20th anniversary edition, I mentioned a few months ago that Apple has this grand plan so to put out a 20th anniversary edition iPhone. When iPhone was in its infancy, a little baby, Steve Jobs always had this dream of launching a iPhone that is all glass. He had this big idea of an all glass iPhone. And as of 3 months ago, Apple had planned on doing that, bringing his dream to fruition for the 20th anniversary edition. So the front would be glass, obviously, but the rear would be glass, obviously. But get this, the sides would be a glass composite too. So there would be no like mid-frame, or it would be essentially a unibody, but instead of it being a unibody like this, where it doesn't have a traditional mid-frame like a Samsung phone would have, because you have glass in the front, glass in the back, and then you have a metal mid-frame, the middle part. Well, the iPhone is a unibody, right? Well, they were going to make a glass model, a glass phone. So all the metal you see on this phone would be glass. And it would have a quad nano curved display, meaning the sides would, I got so many phones here, the sides of this Motorola Signature, you see how they're curved on the side? Well, they were going to do that for the iPhone 20, glass unibody with a quad and nano curved display. So it'd be curved on the sides, but also curved on the top and the bottom. So if you just held it like this when you're looking at the phone, all you would see is display. You wouldn't even see the borders, no bezel, nothing. And it sounds like a fantastic idea. Well, last month they scrapped that idea because it's just too hard to make at this point with the suppliers, with the manufacturing. It just wasn't feasible. And that basically is saying it'd be hard to make a profit on it, meaning the production costs would just be far too expensive, right? So they tweaked their idea, their design, and what the phone's going to look like. So here is the iPhone 20, or should I say 20th anniversary edition iPhone. So it's going to take some similar cues from that phone I was just describing, Steve Jobs's ideal iPhone, where it's a glass unibody. So it's going to take some cues from that. And as you can see here, it's still going to have that quad nano curved display. However, it's going to have a glass back. It's going to have a mid frame, but I still believe that the quad nano curved display, the bezels on there are going to be minuscule, meaning like almost gone, almost complete uh, absence of a bezel around that display. So I still think if you hold it in your hand and look at the display, it'll still look like all display. But look at the hole punch. Speaking of display, taking some cues from Android. Where did the dynamic island go, huh? You're just getting a hole punch display. Well, if you are a subscriber and viewer of eSIM Studios, you would know, I've said it many times, in that iPhone 20, the 20th anniversary, Steve Jobs' ideal iPhone, I did say all display, right? So they had also had made plans for under display camera sensors, face ID, all that good stuff. So there would be no hole punch, no nothing. Well, they're a little behind on, as I mentioned, the under display selfie cameras still aren't. Look, they're good, and you can find some phones out here that do have under display cameras. However, the quality is probably not right now where iPhone would consider good. Apple is very meticulous at everything that they do. And it's like if 100% would be clarity, meaning just like a regular selfie camera on an iPhone 17 Pro, if that's 100% clarity, the under display sensors are probably at like 98% clarity. And I just don't think they feel confident enough to mass produce or to put a product out there where you're going to take a little hit in quality when it comes to using that front facing selfie camera. So that's why at the moment you will get one hole punch camera, selfie camera on that display. They are going to put the Face ID camera under the display. So it's going to be kind of, they're slowly moving to all sensors under the display. But this looks pretty cool. So another thing is you are going to get two camera sensors. So you're not going to get the traditional three. Now, I think this is going to be a special edition phone, meaning I still think you're going to get an iPhone 20 Pro, an iPhone 20 Pro Max, right? And all of the other uh, devices that they launch. So I just think this is going to be a one-time anniversary phone that they're going to mass produce and put up for sale. And then meaning there won't be a second generation for the iPhone 21. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be like a special edition iPhone. These things are going to sell like hotcakes. These things are going to be a hot item. I bet the aftermarket resale value on these are going to skyrocket. It's going to be a collector's item. And look, y'all know how much I dislike Apple. Well, I might get one just to collect it, just to sit on my counter, right? I mean, come on. But it will be a collector's item. I don't know the thinness. It's not going to be the iPhone Air 2. This is a special 20th anniversary edition phone. So this is a real thing. They are planning on it. As of right now, it is a go. So you'll start to see leaks of this probably this time next year as we move forward. So looks pretty cool. I'm anticipating it. Other than this, we really don't have any specs or any information on the internals. The dynamic island, look, even if you have a hole punch display, you can still do a dynamic island in the GUI, the graphical user interface, because look at the OnePlus 15. It has a dynamic island like animation and icon up there, because the OnePlus 15 has one single hole punch, right? Well, they still have animations, they still have graphics that look like a dynamic island up there. So Apple can still implement the dynamic island even if they don't have two sensors that you can see from if you're looking down on your display, they can still do it. So I anticipate them doing that. Now on this graphic, you're not going to see the camera button that's on the side here. I don't know if they're gonna do away with that, the physical camera button, but it certainly looks cool. And like I said, I always like the way they look. Apple's hardware. It's just, to be honest with you, it's the software that I dislike so much, and some of their practices internally as a company. That's what I dislike. I don't dislike the way the iPhones look. I've never said that. I just don't like the operating system. It's when it comes to use it is when I what I don't like about iPhone. But I think I think they look appealing, and they have a classic design. So I think it looks cool. But if you're interested in this iPhone 20th anniversary edition, subscribe to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel. I'm going to cover this extensively. As of right now, I think I'm going to try to get one of these if and when it does launch. So looks pretty cool. But subscribe to the channel, and I got a lot more stuff on the way. Peace.